Spiritually, we understand that God's judgment on Judah is an historical parable pointing to the judgment that began at the house of God at the end of time, at the time of the Great Tribulation period. It says in Isaiah 34, verse 8 to 11, "For it is the day of the JEHOVAH'S vengeance, and the year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion. And the streams thereof shall be turned into pitch, and the dust thereof into brimstone, and the land thereof shall become burning pitch. It shall not be quenched, night nor day. The smoke thereof shall go up forever. From generation to generation it shall lie waste. None shall pass through it forever and ever. But the cormorant and the bittern shall possess it. The owl also and the raven shall dwell in it. And he shall stretch out upon it the line of confusion and the stones of emptiness." Again, it is the word confusion, or we could say, the line of that which is without form and the stones of emptiness. It is a difficult verse to understand, and at this point we are not trying to understand this verse, but we are trying to understand Genesis 1 verse 2, where God says He created the earth and it was without form and void. The Hebrew word translated as void is only found 3 times. The first time it is found is in the verse we are looking at. And the second time it is found is in Jeremiah chapter 4. Jeremiah chapter 4 also has both the word without form and the word void. We are going to read a bit of the context so we can get a feel for what God is saying. In the book of Jeremiah, God is primarily pronouncing judgment upon Judah historically. In turn, Judah is representing the New Testament corporate churches of the world. It says in Jeremiah 4, verse 19 to 23, "Thy way and thy doings have procured these things unto thee. This is thy wickedness, because it is bitter, because it reacheth unto thine heart. My bowels, I am pained at my very heart. My heart maketh a noise in me. I cannot hold my peace. Because thou hast heard, O my soul, the sound of the trumpet, the alarm of war. Destruction upon destruction is cried, for the whole land is spoiled. Suddenly are my tents spoiled, and my curtains in a moment. How long shall I see the standard, and hear the sound of the trumpet? For my people is foolish, they have not known me. They are sottish children, and they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge. I beheld the earth, and lo, it was without form and void, and the heavens, and they had no light." Let me stop here. Notice verse 23. It is in the context of God's judgment upon His own people. Spiritually, we understand that God's judgment on Judah is an historical parable pointing to the judgment that began at the house of God at the end of time, at the time of the Great Tribulation period. We are fully aware that this time has come and gone, as the Great Tribulation was a 23-year period that began May 21st, 1988, and it ended on May 21st, 2011. Over that 23 exact years, or exactly 8,400 days, God brought judgment at the house of God, And this is what Jeremiah is pained about historically. It was a judgment upon his own people, and that is why in verse 22 God says, "For my people is foolish. They have not known me. They are sottish children, and they have none understanding." A little later in the book of Jeremiah, God makes this statement in Jeremiah 8:7. "Yea, the stork in the heaven knoweth her appointed times, and the turtle and the crane and the swallow observe the time of their coming. But my people know not the judgment of Jehovah." As it said earlier, they are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge. And this was certainly true of the corporate church at the end of the world. The churches of our day are extremely wise to do evil. There are all kinds of theologians that have written books that lay out various doctrines that are false and therefore evil. The churches are full of other gospels, like how people can know they are saved by speaking in tongues, falling over backwards, or by accepting Christ. None of these things are true, and therefore they are evil. The churches go the extra mile to justify their evil doctrines and to justify making people that are not qualified to be their deacons and elders and pastors. They try to justify their doctrines, and they are wise to do evil, but God says, "But to do good they have no knowledge." To do good, in this case, would be to follow truth and to follow what the Bible actually teaches in regard to salvation, or in regard to the Sunday Sabbath, and so forth. They lack knowledge to do good.